Hello and welcome to AITPM News. And in this edition we discuss the role of transport for Parramatta becoming Sydney's second CBD, a minibus on-demand scheme dies but all is not lost, old technology to discourage phone use when driving, and rickshaws go high-tech. Will third and first world countries benefit? The New South Wales branch of the AITPM held a forum on the role of transport in a future Parramatta. Parramatta is 23 kilometres to the west of the Sydney CBD, and it has been envisaged for the last 40 years or more that it would be Sydney's second CBD. Now planning and actions to achieve this are getting more serious. Some of the comments from the forum include, the key issue is participation in urban life rather than just how we travel. Much was said about the new light rail system which will serve the centre, university campuses and the Westmead Hospital complex. But it is a relatively local system. Presenters were asked if it could be extended to Epping to make a more complete network, and also beyond Carlingford to pick up north-south movements, which are very significant in number but often play second fiddle in planning to trips to the CBD in the east. Unfortunately, extending the system was seen as being very expensive, especially because this was a rail-based system. A lot of people are driving through Parramatta that don't need to be there. More work on the inner and outer ring road system is necessary, although it was recognised that much of the transport proposals being considered were on non-road options. Planners have found that computer modelling of transport was not terribly good at looking forward, especially not at looking at the impact of new technology. Not a lot of effort is being spent on demand management, talking to people about alternatives they might embrace. And finally, the Opal card for public transport was seen as a good thing, but it is cumbersome to get one and learn about the system. Someone suggested that we should combine your driver's licence and Opal card to make it more ubiquitous. Technology alone is not enough to guarantee ride-sharing success. A pioneering partnership with Kansas City's transit agency in 2015 was established to have ride-sharing minibuses based on 14-seat vans with clever software to establish the best routes to serve customer needs. After a very unsuccessful trial, it has gone broke. Shared, on-demand buses appear to be promoted as representing the freedom and mobility of the private car, door-to-door transport when you need it, but you are still having to cater for other passengers. The bridge scheme in Kansas City seems to have appealed mainly to those who struggle with transport and are thus prepared to put up with a lower level of service.
Hi Maya, how you doing?
A smooth ride to and from work is Tina Rainey's main priority each day, especially with her bad knees. She doesn't drive, but she uses Ride Casey Bridge, Kansas City's new transit experiment program, and it's all controlled on her smartphone.
This does not spell doom for all the other Uber for buses variations. San Francisco and Austin have Chariot, which appears not to be door-to-door but a small bus-sharing arrangement from fixed stops. New York, Washington DC and Chicago have Via, which is a more expensive on-demand shared transport. The Atlantic City website believes the microtransit firms need to partner with transit agencies. Theirs is an exceptionally hard business model to pencil out, they say, in the absence of major subsidies. If we don't partner with transit agencies, we may end up with the market only providing services for the wealthier traveller who can afford fares necessary to provide the service they want. Nissan in Great Britain has adopted old technology to try and reduce your phone use while driving. Their Signal Shield is a prototype compartment within the armrest of a Nissan Juke that is lined with a Faraday cage, which blocks electromagnetic fields. It stops incoming and outgoing calls as well as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connections. It sounds good, but it still requires a specific and intentional action on behalf of the user, which they can reverse at any time. So, should we mandate that phones cannot be used? Or is there some middle ground? Hyundai has just launched a new model of their i30 hatch onto the Australian market. The upper spec models have driver attention alert, which continually monitors the vehicle's position within the lane and tracks steering inputs, brake pedal inputs, and the time since the last driver brake. This feature is more usually associated with expensive cars, but with the Hyundai it is now in vehicles priced from $29,000 to $34,000 plus on-roads, which puts them very much in the affordable pricing spectrum. It hasn't happened yet, but could such an attention alert system be linked to the car's connectivity? If you start to drive badly when you are on the phone, could we get it to turn the phone off? Thailand has the tuk-tuk, Indonesia has the bakak, in Vietnam it's the cyclo, and in India and Bangladesh they have the famous rickshaw. The rickshaw was first invented in Japan in the 1860s. Now these devices have been motorised but not modernised to any extent. Being modern is not just being solar powered. Asian Development Bank has committed funds to bring these paratransit vehicles into the modern age, not the least by making them in much lighter materials. Brian Smith from Arup on the radio program Overdrive said,
"It's really important that forms of transport like this are still available, still effective in Asian cities particularly. Ho Chi Minh City's decided that they wanted to get rid of motorbikes and move to more cars, and they're suffering incredible traffic congestion because of it."
But could they also be a major player for first world transportation? We have seen that the traditional bike can be helped along with an electric motor for assistance, but what about a device that can protect you from the rain and carry some goods? The impetus from this may not just be from the transport departments, but from how we plan our urban areas. If we are to promote active transport, it must be designed into the way we live.